United
Unified
School District.
We didn't do it.
Board meeting for November 18th to order at 5:36. So join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag
to the
of the
flag
United States
of the United States of America
and to
and
the
to the
republic
republic
which stands
for which it
one
stands,
nation
one
under
nation,
God,
with
indivisible,
God,
with liberty
indivisible,
and justice
with
for
liberty
all.
and justice for all.
The speaker's good.
You right?
Behind, but it's good. Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Recognitions and proclamations is
forgot
our
to
first
adopt the
thing.
agenda.
Oh, adoption of the agenda.
I'll
You're
make a
right.
motion to adopt the agenda for November 18th, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. Now we'll do recognitions and proclamations.
I have one. Last week was Veterans Week, and I was delighted to see in what was sent to us and in the school and in the newspaper, the Wickenburg Sun, our schools recognizing veterans in our community, and near and dear to my heart, so I was so excited to see that. So tonight at the board meeting, I wanted also to recognize our one board member who is also a veteran, Ron Alexander.
Thank you.
Thank you for your service, sir.
Okay. Next,
Sandy?
Cindy. You have
Oh.
anything?
I just wanted to congratulate all the sports teams. You know, our poor football team didn't do well, but they didn't give up. They showed up. And so, and our volleyball girls came very close, and our cross country sent 2 to state, and our swim team. So I just wanted to say congratulations to all of them.
Yes. So I have to recognize the WHS fall play.
We knew
It's
that was
happening
coming.
Thursday and Friday nights at 7 p.m. If you haven't seen it, here's a little flyer if anybody wants to check it out. Come watch Riley as Professor Plum and all of her friends, and I'll see you there.
Okay. Mr. Malio, do you have anything?
I would just like to thank all the administrators, all our staff, for doing what they do every day and giving it their all. Thank
Good
you.
thing. Thank you. Okay, and I have nothing in particular.
I do have a couple of things. I will add on to what Sandy was saying about the sports teams and add to the cheer team there. They were amazing this year, and a huge group of girls, maybe some of them represented here tonight. So added on to that. And I do want to, before we get started, recognize the students from Vulture Peak Students Who Care who will be presenting us tonight. And thank you to the parents for making sure they got here in this lovely weather. I'm very happy you're here. You're a very special group for our school district, so thank you for that. And then I was going to say a special thanks to our wonderful maintenance staff, Randy, Tony, and Wallace, who cleaned up the flooded boardroom today, but they may have to be back because this old building doesn't have very good drainage on that drain that's out there. So they may be back with their wet vac in a little bit. Hopefully we'll be done by that. Thank you all.
All right. Okay, next on our agenda is the Vulture Peak Middle School Students Who Care. Come on up.
Hello, my name is Julie Parker, and I am the sponsor for the Students Who Care group. For most of you, you guys might remember 2.5 years ago, we showed up for the first time because we had just attended a conference, and it really changed these kids' lives, and they wanted to make an impact with their school and their community. We shared our first experience of driving home on our van, and these kids were spouting out crazy ideas in my brain at the time. I was like, you know, I'll let them dream. It's fine. Then we'll kind of narrow it in. But the really cool thing is that everything that these kids talked about in that car that day is stuff that we've actually achieved, which is so awesome for these guys. I do want to hit on one really huge accomplishment. And I'm super excited Oakley's here because Oakley was a huge part of that. We actually submitted an implementation plan to the Speak Up, Stand Up, Save a Life conference. And out of all the schools in Arizona that submitted, our school actually won Best Implementation Plan. Yeah, so exciting. And these kids got to go and they got to speak in front of 1,000 plus people and inspire other kids just like them to make a difference. That even though, you know, we're small middle schoolers, most of those schools were high school. And so even though we were like one of the only middle schools there represented, they were able to inspire kids older than them to make a difference. So I'm super proud of them. I'm so excited to be here and for you to hear from them all the things that we've done in the past couple of years, as well as our plan and vision for where we want to go. So I'm going to actually invite up, do I have this? Oh, let me go through that really quick. Okay, I'm going to actually invite up Ezekiel Limon. He's one of our 6th grade leaders.
Hello, board members. My name is Ezekiel, and I will be talking to you today about a conference we attended, Kindness Week, and new members. We attended a Speak Up, Stand Up, Save a Life conference. We spoke in front of over 1,000 students, staff, and police officers. We got an award for having the best implementation plan. Last week, we celebrated Kindness Week. On Monday, we did a kindness pledge. We created teacher appreciation cards and shout-out cards. Shout-out cards are when you write something kind about someone and we read it during our morning meeting. On Wednesday, we had appreciation cards for all Vulture Peak staff. We also made a kindness chain. On Thursday, we made kindness rocks and did a kindness shop where we could buy things for our friends and send it to them. This year, SWC invited new 6th graders. I am proud to be one of the new members this year. There are 2 other new members, Emma Murillo and Kennedy Satcher. Now I will be inviting Grace up.
Thank you, Zeke. Hi, I'm Grace Karn. I'm in 8th grade, and I'm the vice president of SWC. When I was in 6th grade, we had 6% involvement. Last year, we had 14% involvement. To help us grow, we created a group called Safe Space, which is an opportunity for our peers to feel accepted and seen. Also, Kindness Week is a way we educated our peers on kindness. And during this week, we had a lot of fun things and had the Be Kind crew come and perform at our assembly. At the end of the year assembly, we gave out service awards to kids who played a role in meeting our goal. Joining this group has made a huge impact on my life, and I hope we can continue this group through high school. Thank you, and now I will invite Ellie.
Thank you, Grace. Hi, everybody. I am Ellie Bowser, and I am the president of SWC. This year, we want to be part of the Light Parade and the Gold Rush Parade like we were last year, to spread more kindness, the awareness of kindness, and show our town spirit. We also want to submit another implementation plan to the Speak Up, Stand Up organization. That is still a work in progress. We want our school to also be part of the, not our school, but the group and our school to be part of the community more. And as an 8th grader this year, I really want to implement new ways, to implement this group into our high school next year, because I feel like a group like this is needed at a high school level because there's more stress put on us with school, sports, etc. And, sorry, I'm a little nervous. So I really hope that I can do that next year. And as Grace mentioned, we had 6% involvement in our 6th grade year, and as of last year, 14. This year, I want to have 18% involvement as our growth. Thank you, and I'm going to invite him up.
Hello, my name is Emma Murillo, and I am the treasurer. At the conference, we learned about internet safety, overcoming hard situations, and coming forward to a trusted adult. At the conference, we listened to music, and we learned about regulating our emotions, which helped me control my anger and my patience with kids. I write and sing whenever I am upset, frustrated, or angry. And I thought it was very fun when the whole conference wrote down what they did to calm down. And I thought it was amazing when we won the award because I did not know what was going to happen. I have really enjoyed being part of SWC so far, and it's really fun, and Miss Julie is super nice. Now, pass the mic to Miss Julie.
All right, I just want to take a minute because these are middle schoolers. I don't know about you guys, but in middle school, I was not about to get up in front of a room of adults. So good job, guys. You guys are learning. You're doing great. Give yourself grace. Again, this whole experience with these guys, this does not want to work, has been amazing. These kids have really grown. We've really worked on developing some of their leadership skills. And again, they're stepping out and doing things that most kids their age are not doing. And so we're excited to move forward and hone in on this year. Again, we had that 6% involvement that first year, and it's kind of been cool to kind of track as like it's been catching on our campus. We did give out service awards to kids, which was really cool, and it was a way to get them excited about what we're doing. So thank you guys so much for having us here, and yeah, if you guys have any questions, we are open for questions.
Anybody have any questions?
I'm thinking.
You're thinking? Okay.
Do you still have your closet? Yes. Okay. Yeah, I'm really gonna get out there one day. I have about 50 pair of jeans for you.
I'm really excited that our high school principal is here tonight. So for you to hear that lofty goal that she wants to start that at your campus next year, there you go. That's wonderful. I did want to ask something of Ezekiel. What made you want to join as a 6th grader?
It's just I wanted to help.
Great. Good for you, young man.
He seems like
you.
a very nice boy and wants to spread kindness.
Yes. Thank you.
I don't have any questions. I know most of you. You're awesome kids. Love you guys.
Did you think of anything, Sandy?
I already asked.
Oh, did you? Okay, sorry. Yeah, for a long day. I don't have any questions. Mr. Malio.
I don't have any questions. I would just like to thank Miss Julie for everything she's doing for those kids. She's doing an awesome job apparently, because we came home with a big award, and I'm very proud of each and every one of those kids that are involved, and I hope they can get more people involved and hit their 18% goal. And hoping Mr. Mayor can entertain getting something going on his campus. Thank you.
Okay, did you have anything? Okay. I don't have any questions, but you guys are impressive. Thank you very much for coming here. I can't believe it was 2.5 years ago. I thought it would be like, I thought it was like last year that you were here.
I would like to make one more comment. Thank you for not making me cry this year.
I was crying, Sandy.
Be safe out
Thank you
there.
guys very much.
Thank you. We appreciate you guys.
We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Bye. There went our audience.
Okay, next up is the principal's report for Wickenburg High School.
Did we not have call to the public?
Huh?
Did we have any call to the public?
Did we have one?
Yeah. Oh, never mind. Never mind. It's after.
Yeah, it's later. Okay. You're still good. Okay. Mr. Garrett, Mayor.
Take a number.
Wanted to make sure.
I was having assistance. So,
All good.
so yeah.
Good evening, members of the board, Superintendent Remendini, and members of the Wickenburg community. Thanks for staying. You're in for a treat. It is my pleasure, first and foremost, to do my first principal's report tonight. So thank you for having me, and thank you for allowing me to share some awesome things that we've got going at Wickenburg High School. We're excited also to share in a moment some awesome things that are going on at Wickenburg Virtual Academy too. So with that said, we'll focus first on Wickenburg High School. So as you're going through the report that's prepared for you, we have had actually quite a few new enrollments, quite a few withdrawals. I thought this number was going to look a little different. We ended up just one off where we started. And so kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, so we felt like it was fluctuating quite a bit, but ended up in about the same spot, which is good news for us. With that said, I did want to take a moment to discuss some of the discipline summary. So as you can see, there are two things that I wanted to note. The first of which is for any student that where there's an alcohol, tobacco, or other drug violation, those students are automatically enrolled during our advisory time in a vape education course or a course for whatever they may need. And so we've started doing that through a platform called EverFi. My favorite thing about EverFi is that it's free. My second favorite thing is that it provides some interventions for students who are struggling with different things. We've primarily used the vape education course for them. There's also courses for a multitude of things. So for bullying prevention, course specifically designed for students. There's courses around alcohol abuse. There's courses around just building healthy relationships. And so as we're navigating and as our counselors are navigating some complex student situations, we've really kind of dug in to make sure that we're responding to those circumstances and to those discipline incidents in a way that allows us to provide some intervention, not just a consequence. The second thing I wanted to share in regard to that discipline report is we are on par with what our data showed last year after reviewing it when I started, and that is that our male students make up the vast majority of our discipline incidents. So a priority for us as we're moving forward is really making sure that when we address discipline incidents that myself as well as kind of the male role models in the building are really doing their part to make sure that we're setting a great example for them and that in the face of difficult situations we're not getting escalated and things like that. As frustrated as some of those situations may be, really making sure that we set the standard for talking through what you're going through, why certain circumstance happened, and really helping them understand that even if there is a negative behavior, that doesn't mean they're a bad person, right? And we say that often where, the end of a lot of our discipline conversations are really we really try to echo the sentiment of, we want you here, right? And in order for you to be here and to go to school here, there are some expectations that you have to meet, and let's outline those together right now, right? But at the end of the day, we want you here, right? And we want to make sure that you're able to go to school here. This helps us do that. So with that said, again, as I go through, I say, before I move on from discipline, are there any questions I can answer in regard to our discipline summary thus far this year?
I'd like to ask.
I do have one.
Go ahead, Joe.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
So, Mr. Mayor, when you talk about the intervention group that's free, we like that, right? How are the students, how are they educated? Is it a virtual thing? Is it immediate, or is it something they have to do on a Saturday, or what?
So it is, it is immediate. It'll be the following day during that 5th hour advisory time, and is supervised by either one of our administrators or one of our school counselors as well. And we try to make a point to, while the curriculum is online and the course is digital, we do try to make a point to engage them in conversations during that time, opposed to having them just, sit there and kind of work through a course while they're being supervised, really making sure that the adult in the space is engaging them in some conversations around that while they work on it during that advisory time. And if they don't complete it during that advisory time, we will have them do that the next day and so on for as long as it takes. The most a student has taken thus far is 2 of those 5th hour 36-minute periods in a row, and that seems to suffice for both the course and for some of those deep conversations around changing that behavior.
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else have any?
First, I was glad to hear about that education. That's great. Thank you. I just wanted to have you chat for a second about the what creates an attendance policy violation? We have, you said 42 students that have 10 or more absences, but only 6 on the attendance policy violation. So it looks like a disconnect, but I think I just don't know the definition for the discipline part.
Absolutely. So most often, what would constitute a disciplinary attendance policy violation would be truancy or ditching. Is typically what we would push that through. Other than that, on just about every other attendance violation, if you will, with the exception of significant tardies, really intervention is kind of the name of our game, opposed to formal consequences.
Right. Thank you.
Okay, anybody else?
All good?
All
right.
Thank you.
So moving into, provided to you with some math data from Benchmark 1. We just finished Benchmark 2 for math, English, and some other courses as well. In particular, math, English, and science within the last week and a half. So that data is not provided to you this evening, but I have, and thank you to Ms. Hotchkiss, who's in the back. But Ms. Hotchkiss has provided all of our campuses with, and likely you at some point, with a summary of that Benchmark 2 data. So we'll make sure that that gets to you as well. What I want to highlight from math in particular, and similar to English, is what we've really been focused on is really taking a team-based approach to how we plan, how we provide interventions, and really how we, for lack of a better term, how we do school, right? And what do we want this experience to look like for a kid in our math classes? What do we want this experience to look like for, a kid in our English classes? And really framing a lot of our conversations around collaboration being the most important thing for our teachers to do to make sure that that experience is what we want it to be. And so with that, they take time weekly to analyze student data. That's true of math as well. They also do some co-planning during that time, and which I'll talk about in a little bit, but they also work to provide or figure out which students need some targeted interventions to provide that during the school week as well. I'll echo Mr. Malio's term he used earlier is, what's the immediacy of that? One of our hopes this year was that intervention is a little more immediate than it's been historically for us. And so as we're working with teachers, we want to make sure that if a kid is performing poorly on a standard on a Monday or a Tuesday, that by that Wednesday or Thursday, we're providing an intervention to them, opposed to it being a week away or 2 weeks after, and the kid's really not remembering what the initial instruction was, and now you're having to kind of start all over. With that said, with the shortage of math teachers on our campus this year, it has actually proved to be a little bit of a benefit through the lens of vertical alignment. Our other 2 teachers have spent a great amount of time within that Algebra 1 curriculum, and so they have been able to set some of the standards that they were hoping for and able to kind of engage in some of those conversations about Algebra 1, making sure that those students have the skills as they move into geometry and Algebra 2 and so on. The last last 2 things that I'd like to share on that note is math, along with English, provide daily targeted math tutoring through 21st Century. They do that before and after school. And then they also pull students for priority sessions, meaning that no one else can pull them on those days. And so if I needed Barbara and Ron and Susan and everybody, because they performed poorly on an assessment on Tuesday, I'm able to pull them on that Wednesday, and that's my priority day for math. I know for sure no other teacher can pull them. I know for sure that that student can't choose anything else. I know that I'm going to get those kids during that time to provide them the intervention that they need. And I'm going to kind of skip over to English. They're pretty synonymous, and with that reason, right, is what we're trying to do again is provide that same approach, especially in math and English, that teachers are working as a team to plan, to provide interventions, to identify needs within the curriculum, and plan accordingly. 2 of the small things I'd like to note on English in particular is their interventions have been standards based, and so when students are pulled for a session during that 5th hour time, they really have an opportunity to, 1, know why they're being pulled, right? Because it's associated with the assessment they just did or the assignment that they just did. And they know it's going to be a small group setting where that teacher's really able to focus one-on-one with them to either reteach or to have them revise an assignment or to reassess as they're going through. And then the last piece there, last two are similar to math again, where one, they're able to provide daily tutoring before and after school through 21st Century. And they are also able to, on Tuesdays is their day, to have those priority sessions where no other teacher can pull, no student can choose. They pick those students are coming to them during that 5th hour for some targeted intervention. With all that said, the data is there for you from that benchmark 1, which helped us inform some of those early interventions. So students that tested in red and yellow were some of the first students to engage in the class rotations, also in the 5th hour intervention time. Those are some of our first students kind of hit in those grade levels for 9th, 10th, and 11th English, and for Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2 at the freshman, sophomore, and junior level. With all that said, much to do about English and math, two very important areas. Are there any questions I can answer in regard to those two areas before moving on to our additional goals?
I don't really have a question as much as I have a comment.
Sure.
I like the fact that you're intervening quickly. Because I agree, it's like having a little child and they do something, and then 2 days later you discipline them for it, and they don't even remember what they did. So I like that we're getting on top of it faster so that we can help them, and hopefully they can retain what they were doing and not have to start from the beginning. So that's my comment.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
I have one question.
Sure.
You mentioned that in your, in a part of your intervention is offering after-school interventions and tutoring, and you mentioned specifically that you offer the late bus has been advantageous to the process. So I just wondered how many students are on that late bus, especially, that stayed after school for academic reasons and not athletic reasons.
Absolutely. So right now we are averaging about, for academics in particular, we are averaging about 8 to 10 on the Congress Aguila bus, and it is almost the same exact 6 to 7 kids on the Festival Foothills bus,
Okay.
Just about every day.
For the academic.
For
portion.
academics.
Very
Yep,
good.
yep, correct. And then in addition to that, there's, in the winter season,
Yeah.
I want to say about 8 additional, in addition to that, kind of split between the two
For the athletes.
routes.
Very good. I'm glad they're taking advantage of it.
Yeah, extremely useful. Extremely useful.
Thank
So much appreciated. All right. Moving to. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I'm
Okay.
good.
Mr. Malio, did you have anything?
Hello, Joe.
Joe?
I just feel like I was still muted, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
I do not have any questions, but I appreciate all that information.
Okay, thank you.
All right. For the additional goals section, I wanted to focus on two areas. One is actually, excuse me, I wanted to focus on one area of the two, which is attendance. And so we've been doing a lot of work around attendance this semester. Really, what we believe is that attendance only changes when you know a kid and when you know their family and when you know their circumstances. And are there certainly circumstances where what I need to know is they stop for Starbucks every morning, for sure, right? But there's also circumstances where they stop to drop off their other 2 siblings at our other 2 schools every morning, right? And so as we're working through issues of attendance and things like that, we really want to make sure that we are having a chance to speak one-on-one with a student and their family to see what's going on and see how we can support. That may look different for each family. What we've found in our last kind of quarter and a half of school this year is that we have very, very slowly declined in our overall attendance from about 94% to then about 92%, and now we're at about 88% after the October mark. And so our goal, we're still about 12% above where we want to be at the end of the year, which is about an increase of over 80% attendance overall across the year. But we do feel that our processes and kind of procedures around that have been successful. In particular, some attendance improvement plans. We have 42 students who are currently over the 10 absence mark. For about 15 of those families, they have been active is probably too poor a word. They have been incredibly enthusiastic about partnering with us to help their student improve their attendance, which has been awesome to see. Our hope, obviously, is for all 42 of those families to share that same enthusiasm around that. So we'll continue to work through that with our counseling team, with our attendance clerk, and myself and our other leadership at the school to make sure that, when a student is absent, they know that we see them and that we notice and that it's important for them to be there, and we're willing to support where we need to make that happen. In that section as well, we did have yesterday, for the first time of the year, we did have our English classes for some adults that are English language learners. We had 12 parents, I believe, out of 14 that signed up. 2 were unable to make it, but already a great turnout for that program out of the 21st Century Grant. And a shout out to Miss Vanessa Martin, who has worked very, very diligently in her role as our parent liaison this year to make sure that not only are we providing great opportunities for students through that time or through that grant, but also we're providing some resources and opportunities for the community to engage with our campus and provide some education in that way. The last piece I want to share on the kind of update-wise is we are ramping up our classroom walkthroughs. We believe very strongly that visibility plays a great role in people meeting high expectations. If your expectations are high, that also means you're able to provide the support to help people meet them, right? And so as we're working through, we've spent a lot of time as a leadership team doing our best to get into classrooms and provide some meaningful feedback and provide some one-on-one conversations with teachers that really help them improve their practice and really help me, especially being new to the campus, set our expectation around instruction and what that experience looks like in the classroom. Below that, you have some department updates. Everyone is doing some really cool things. There's some pictures there for you to see as well. There is so much good going on at our school every day. The reason that I phrase it that way is out of our site council that actually helped me get some of the pictures for this report. So as you're looking through there, many of those pictures are ones that we have used or plan to use on our hashtag It's a Great Day at WHS kind of social media campaign. So we're doing our best to post something from our school that's positive just about every school day from now until the end of the year. We'll plan to continue to do that. That was an idea that stemmed out of our site council, so our parents and students that support that process. But really, there's a lot going on in education, right? That it is sometimes easier, right? It's like a giant Yelp review, I like to say, right? It's like easy to focus on the negative, and when people are trying to share their opinions, right, often the reason they want to do so is because something's wrong, not that something's right. And so for us, it's important to us to really kind of tell our own story. And in doing that, in a small way right now, to just share one thing a day, again, that is a positive thing that we're doing, that we've got to recognize some cool people. And that is, again, many of the pictures and things you see in those department updates there and in those athletic updates have been or will be featured on our It's a Great Day at WHS kind of campaign as we work to highlight some more positive things that are going on each day.
I am so happy to hear that, because I'm all about positive.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yes. Joe, go ahead.
I do have a question, Mr. Mayor, about your the marketing. I'm all about marketing, and I really like the fact that you're doing that campaign on that. It's on your Facebook page. Is that correct? And who is that? Is there just a single person that's doing that, or is that a team, or how is that working?
Right now, I really enjoy and have a big heart for school branding. And so I have been the one posting for the most part, in addition to Mrs. Willis, who's our JAG sponsor. and then Mrs. Schaefer, who works in our front office. We tag team much more of the pictures than anything, where if we know someone's going to be at a particular event or if someone sees something in particular during the school day, we're all trying to, as a team and as a staff, have a keen eye around the building for the great things that are going on, to make sure that, because we can't see everything, we want to make sure that we're able to celebrate some of the things we don't see just as much as the things that we're there for. But have led the charge from our leadership team thus far, and again, hoping to spread the wealth and make sure everyone's getting highlighted moving forward, and have more people participating in that from a staff lens.
Well, and the reason I ask that is because if you have enough help with it, perhaps you could pop something on the school website as well more frequently, because some of these things are on there. Because I'm looking at your website right now, and the stuff is great, but it's been there. And so if you have parents looking at the website, we're hoping that they're looking at the website. Maybe that same thing that you post can go on your website and change it out. Because I don't think it's that difficult to go in there and change that after you did a social media post. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I've not done your website, but it's just an idea. Because I love marketing. I love to keep things fresh and new instead of just having the same thing for the whole school year. And then people are going to stop looking at it.
Absolutely. Appreciate that feedback, Mr. Mahlia. The last thing I want to share, and probably the most substantial shift that we've done this year in the board report here, is we expanded the 5th period intervention time from 2 days last year to 4 days this year. That was a change that I very graciously and excitedly inherited, and we really, at the beginning of the year, wanted to make sure that we talk with teachers, talk with students of how to utilize that time the best that we can. And so through the advisory time, we've really focused on creating lessons for teachers and for students that are valuable, that address some of the things that are going on at our school, like school safety, digital citizenship, AI. There's been a ton of things that we've tackled in the fall semester. But what we're most proud of and are still very much working kind of within is our roundup sessions. And so currently, if you're a student at Wickenburg High School, Monday is always the advisory day, and then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, there is a vast amount of sessions that you can choose from as a student for academic help, for enrichment, and things like that. As we work to expand in some of those enrichment sessions is really kind of our priority. So right now, the majority of sessions are academic. And so you can get English help. You may be pulled for specific targeted intervention for English, math, science, or social studies. It kind of depends, but there's some study halls, there's a digital lab, there's a handful of things, and then enrichment-wise and kind of choice session-wise, there's weight room, there's, a ton of things. I listed some examples there: anime club, creative writing, peaceful coloring. Peaceful coloring's my favorite one because I got to host that twice so far, and it was what a delight to have that during the school day. But our counselors also have taken advantage of that time to, rather than pushing into classes and interrupting class time, really utilizing that time to do WestMec presentations, to do information on scholarships and college admissions. And as it continues to expand, again, our goal is to utilize our staff and really let them get creative with some of those enrichment opportunities. If they, play guitar, if they're interested in, art or music or whatever it may be. We had one the other day, and they said, "Hey, I really like walking. I think it kind of frees the mind. Like, would I be able to do like an enrichment where we just kind of like walk the track for a half hour?" And I was like, that sounds wonderful, right? But two, what we're kind of working to expand to as well is we got to make sure that kids that are engaging in those are doing well in their classes, right? And so what we're working on right now is making sure that students with good grades in their classes are able to choose enrichments. Students who maybe need some support and need some intervention are not able to choose as many options at this time because they're getting pulled by their teachers and or need to select some of those academic options as they're going through. So again, a work in progress for sure, but what excites us the most is utilizing that time for more than just study hall, right? And really working to expand that in a way that provides some value to students, provides them cool enrichment opportunities, and also provides them academic intervention if they need it.
I like it.
Right. With that said, as we kind of transition over to Wickenburg Virtual Academy here in just a second, are there any questions I can answer in regard to Wickenburg High School before we shift over?
Quickly about your advisory on Monday, the one where they kind of stay put. Who are they with? Which teacher is their advisory teacher?
So at the beginning of the year, they're by grade level, and every teacher has an advisory that's kind of their core group.
So it's not attached to another hour of the day.
Correct.
Every teacher has a core group of kids, and on Monday they stay put.
You got it.
Okay, and do they choose the week before what they want to go to on their sessions, or
They
I know it's a
choose-
mess, but
They
Yeah.
choose in Monday advisory.
Monday.
They can choose all the way up to 12:30, which is about 15 minutes before
Online,
it starts. And that is online. And then we have a kiosk up in the office where they can do that as well if they need. And then for anybody that doesn't choose or doesn't get selected by a teacher, they get automatically assigned to the media center, where usually it's me or whoever it is going, here's what's available, where do you want to go? Or, hey, I saw that your grade's not great in English, why don't I go ahead and sign you to your English teacher, and then we go from there.
very good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right.
Andy, you have anything?
No.
Susan? No. Mr. Malio, do you have anything?
I do not. I do want to compliment him on that report. It was great. Appreciate all of the information associated with the photos, and go Wranglers. Thank you.
Absolutely. Go Wranglers. Thanks so much. All right, we'll transition over
And I wanna
to...
just say, it
Oh,
was
yeah,
good.
please.
I like the report, and I like your summation of your report, and pointing out things that you saw were important, and changes that you were making this year was, I liked hearing that, so thank you very much.
Appreciate that very
And
much.
then we go into the virtual academy.
You got it.
All right.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Garrett.
Good evening.
Hello.
So you guys have my report in front of you, and as far as enrollment trends go, we're kind of on par with the high school. We haven't seen much of a fluctuation this semester, other than a slight uptick in our concurrent students picking up from the high school, all seniors who in this block needed an additional course. And we picked up 2 new online students to counter ones that we had lost. So truly, pretty much have stayed on par with our numbers for our enrollment. And then in my report, I listed that we were providing the opportunity for high school students to take honors courses, which has been very successful from my perspective. We have 1 student in here that's doing that, and Riley's doing that. And I think if you ask them, they appreciate the opportunity to take online or honors courses. In a dream world, I think they would want to be in a classroom with their peers, engaging in those advanced thinking skills. But for the time being, it seems like it's a good fit for them, for those that wanted to do those honors courses. So any questions about that?
Anybody? Questions?
Just about that part, or?
Oh, no, yeah, just about that part. Next one.
Okay.
I didn't know if she was done.
And then the next portion of my report is about the lab that we now have down at Festival Foothills. We started that, I believe, the 2nd week of school, and have had our program assistant down there each week servicing those students. And Holly was very accommodating to set up a space for Mrs. Morales, and she took some posters down and decorated it so it felt welcoming, and Mrs. Morales has kind of integrated herself into the festival front office staff, and they kind of have their own little gig going on down there on the days that she's there, and the students come in, they know where to go. So that's been very helpful for those students. We have 1 student that's consistently in there every week, and then the other 2 as needed. So right now we have 3 freshmen down there that we're servicing. And only 3 freshmen total from Festival. So it's not like there are other students in the area that aren't utilizing the lab. All those that are there are utilizing it to some degree.
So basically, Festival Foothill, you had 3 children that were participating in Virtual Academy.
Correct.
And if they wanted to do something, they had to come to Wickenburg to do
Correct.
that.
Mm-hmm.
And so now they can just go to there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And so really where it pays off the most is when it came to like finals and state testing. They'd ride the bus up here. State testing or finals would take maybe 3 to 4 hours, and then they would just have to sit here and then ride the bus back home, where now they can go in, test there, and haven't spent 2 hours of their day on the bus that they didn't need to spend on the bus. And having them come in consistently, they feel more included in the program. And then, like, if they're having technology issues, they can come in and talk to Mrs. Morales. And they can always call her on the phone on the days that she's not there. But in person sometimes can't replace some of those activities and interactions. And so I think they just like they have a go-to person should they want to utilize that.
I agree.
So I heard you say they were freshmen.
Correct.
That answers a question I had as to what grade they are.
Mm-hmm.
Would any other grade be available to do that down there?
Yes.
As
So
in younger, for any reason?
So in years past, and actually I think in January, I will have a 5th grader from Festival that's looking to transition. So yes, if that 5th grader, so where it gets dicey at the high school is because we're on a high school campus. We don't want younger elementary kids coming on the high school campus. But at Festival, Mrs. Morales could segregate her day to where morning could be high school session and afternoon could be elementary session, should they want to take advantage of that.
So those 3 freshmen that come in now, they're in how many classes basically?
So they're doing 3 classes a block.
They're in 3 classes in their block, and then they come once a day, once a week?
Once a week.
Once a week, then in person with her.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Other questions about our new lab?
I just wanted to compliment that idea. I think that's awesome. I love seeing that in a report, because I think, piggybacking to my favorite term, marketing, I think other kids might hear of that and decide that they're gonna do that instead of going down the road to a different high school. So I applaud you for getting that program going down there, and Mrs. Morales for tracking down there and doing it. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
You're welcome. And actually, the credit actually goes to Dr. Remondini. It was her original brainstorm last year, and then we latched onto it, and team effort to make it happen. But it's a fantastic idea. I agree with you.
Great team. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our course offerings, we continue to try and meet the needs of our students. And because our population, our high school population, between 35 and 40, I know every single one of those kids and have conversations with each one of them about what are you interested in? What electives can I find you to meet what you're interested in? And so each year I try and diversify that a little bit and see if there's something new that we can offer. And as you can see in my report, this year kids are really interested into business. Every kid, all of them that are taking it, are loving it. They're learning new things. And I'm 9th through 12th grade. I have kids taking this intro to business class, and all of them are loving it. And it's not overwhelming, and it's applicable. And so it's been fun to have those conversations with them. And then Spanish 1 and 2 for our college-bound students, they know they need a secondary language, and that works well. And then we have a big group of visual arts, kids interested in the visual arts and dabbling a little bit in the arts when they can't obviously come and be in an art class. And then more kids taking honors classes, WVA kids taking honors classes, which I like to see. And those are challenging. Hats off to anybody that's taken an honors online class. Yeah. And then I have one senior who's doing some college courses on her own, just registered for them before she even showed up at my door. So kind of a motivator to get moving on her college life. And then I highlighted our student that's doing WestMech and one of our internship students. These girls are learning time management and interacting with the community members and skills. Both of them are, the WestMech student and the internship are in areas that they're interested in pursuing a career in. So it's nice to see that they get an opportunity to dabble in that before they actually leave high school.
I like the gal that's doing the intern has been at the hospital and
Uh-huh.
stuff. Because it's kind of nice to see what different people do,
Mm-hmm.
so that she can decide really maybe what she wants to zero in on. So I thought
Exactly.
that was a great opportunity.
Yeah. What I liked about it is she actually had to go through an application process and an interview process and like was treated as an adult with all the other volunteers and wasn't guaranteed that she was going to get the internship. So I thought that in itself was worth the experience of, even if she wasn't doing the internship, that alone was worth it. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But she's liking it, so it's good.
It sounded like
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Any other questions on course offerings or internship West Mick?
You have 3 students that are in the internship. It's for elective credit.
Correct.
None are paid.
They
Or
can get paid
If
if their
company,
employer,
if their
yes.
employer does it. Are any of these 3 getting paid?
Yes, 2
Oh,
of them are.
2
The
of
one
them are
that's
getting-
at the hospital is the only one that's not getting
Okay.
paid.
Are you able to tell us where are the other 2?
That's a good question. Let me think. One is at Cowboy Cooking,
Oh, good.
and one is at, oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, I should
So
know that.
But even if they're getting their paid part of it, they still get their elective credit, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
And whether it's paid or not paid, they still have to do the internship class that Mrs. Willis runs with the resume,
Very good.
the employee evaluations, all of those pieces, whether it's paid or unpaid,
Good.
they have to go through all of that.
Perfect. Thank
Now
you.
it's going to bother me until I come up with that.
So is the other one working at a beauty salon or?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. But the student who's doing West Mech year 2 next year, she will transition into behind a chair for part of her day.
Mm.
And she drives to Buckeye every day. She goes to the Buckeye campus. She's there by 7:30, goes till 10:30, comes back to Wickenburg, does her classes, and has a job at 17.
Great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
For her.
And getting good grades.
Yes.
So anyway, yeah.
It's all possible.
Time management. It comes down to time
Yeah.
management. Discipline has been consistent. It's typically about absences, and absences meaning they're just not getting on and working. They're not completing their courses. The 4 students that we do have on academic probation because they had failed a course do meet with Mrs. Morales each week through a Google Meet session, and she really just sits there and sets more goals with them that morning or that afternoon. Okay, this is what you need to get done today, and just kind of holds their hand a little bit through the process one day a week to show them how they can do it on their own and kind of kickstart them into getting motivated to get their work done and pass their classes for this block so that they can continue to stay online. And that's our goal for them. So any questions about discipline? I have a good group of kids this year. I really do. I'm super happy with how all of them are performing. I did do our student feedback survey, and like I just highlighted quickly, the top reason students continue to choose online is flexibility. Even like one of the students that was here supporting her brother, the 6th grader, she chose online, even though she's actively involved in things, because they've got some big mission trips coming up throughout the year, and her dad wanted her to be able to be a part of that, but still get a quality education. And so she may at some point transition back to the high school as a sophomore or junior, but for this year it works for her because of that flexibility piece. Okay. And then I got to share some pictures and highlight some of the things that our students are involved in with homecoming week and sports and rodeo. They truly, even though they're online, I would say most of them do try to plug into something outside of academics, and that's kind of the key to keeping them engaged in school and being successful. So I like to see that.
And that is one of the advantages of them doing our virtual academy, is that they are able to participate in our activities.
Absolutely.
Yep. See, she's playing flag football.
She is. Yes, ma'am. Homecoming week, the best part of homecoming week. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Anybody? No? Mr.
Nope,
Valiant?
all good.
Okay.
All good.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Colleen.
Okay, we are now, we're at the call to the public? Do we have anything for that? Okay. All right, now we're at our consent agenda. Does anybody need anything pulled from the consent agenda? No? Okay.
All right. I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda items for November 18th, 2025 as submitted.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, opposed? Okay, that passes. All right, action items. Mr. James Scott now with our financial reports.
Thank you, Mr. Alexander. Board members, you have in your